Hi guys, I'm Darko and welcome back to another brand new video. Today I'm here to show you how to modify your Pokemon's origin data to make it legal for Pokemon Home in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen Switch version using the Ace. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel to support me and not miss any of the upcoming videos. Please leave me your high points to help me grow. If you haven't set up Ace yet, please go check out my video where I show you how to enable it in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen Switch version. But if you already have everything set up, let's continue with this video. Today we use my shiny Chansey as an example, which I obtained from an egg and will modify it to turn into a legit shiny Chansey caught in the Safari Zone. The first thing to do is go to this website. I'll leave the link in the description and all the credit for its creation go to Papa F and his team, so definitely go check out his channel. Through this website we can generate the codes to execute with the Ace in-game. The first thing you need to do is go to the top left and select the Switch version of your Pokemon game, making sure to choose the correct language. In my case, I select English and in the column next to it select your game version. As you can see, the site is divided into two sections. On the left, you'll find the instructions and the setup, while on the right, the tool will generate the code we need to input in-game. The first thing we need to do is to obtain the PID, SID and TID of our Pokemon. Continue by opening the drop-down menu next to it and selecting Read Pokemon PID. As the name suggests, this code will temporarily modify your Pokemon stats to reveal its PID. So place the Pokemon in the second slot of your party, go back to the side, and all that's left is to press compute. The site will generate on the right side the code you need to enter as box names to get the desired result. This code is not the same for everyone, so make sure to follow these steps and generate your own. Do not copy mine. Now, let's move into the game and input the code we were given. To do this, go to your PC boxes and rename each box exactly using the characters shown on the side. Make sure not to add any extra characters after the code, just press start and then A to finish. Once all the required boxes are renamed, the only thing left to do is go to box 13 slot 2 and place your Ace in this spot, and put any Pokemon next to it in box 13 slot 1. When moving or interacting with your Ace, always remember to use the yellow hand. Just press Y on your controller. Also, make sure that box 14 is empty. If you previously ran a longer code, replace any unnecessary box names with a simple A. At this point, to activate the code, just pick the Pokemon next to the Ace and perform a double swap, just like I'm doing right now. Once done, check your Pokemon stats and they will have changed. Go back to the website and enter them exactly as shown into the corresponding fields. Then, press compute and the site will generate your Pokemon's PID on the right side. To finish, quickly deposit Chansey into the box to restore its original stats. Then, place it back into the second slot of your party. Go back to the website and this time select Read Pokemon TID and SID from the drop-down menu. This code works exactly like the previous one, so press compute, take the generated code and enter it into your boxes. Once done, go to box 13 and perform a double swap. Once again, the stats of the second Pokemon will change, and take those numbers, enter them into the website exactly as shown. After that, press compute and the site will generate the TID and the SID. Deposit the Pokemon again to restore its stats, and at this point we're done collecting the necessary information. Go back to the side and now select Change POKéRUS and Origin Data from the drop-down menu. First of all, read what the site tells you. The first thing you'll notice is the word bootstrapped, which means this is a longer code made up of 13 boxes and requires an exit code in the 14th box, which you can get from the provided link. Don't worry, it's nothing complicated and I'll show you shortly. The first thing we need to do according to the site is move our Pokemon to box 10 slot 19, since that's where it will be targeted by the glitch. Once that's done, go to the PID, TID and SID fields and fill them using the data we collected earlier, making sure to respect the spacing. Next, move to the location fields. In current location, enter where your Pokemon was caught or hatched. In my case, it's Viridian City, and make sure to click the name so it gets replaced with the location's index number. In the new location field, do the same but enter the location you want. In my case, the Kanto Safari Zone. In the fields below, enter the encounter level. In my case, the Pokemon was hatched from an egg, so as indicated, I enter 0, and in the next field, I enter 26, which is the level at which Chansey is normally found in the Safari Zone. In the current origin game field, enter the number corresponding to the game your Pokemon comes from. In my case, it's FireRed, so I enter 4. In the new origin game field, enter the game you want it to appear from. In my case, still Pokemon FireRed, so again I enter 4. Next, choose the Pokeball the Pokemon was caught in. In my case it's a Pokeball, so I enter its number, and in the field below I enter the number corresponding to the new ball. which for me is the Safari Ball. At this point, we could enter the gender and the POKéRUS data, but I don't recommend it. Changing the gender might not work or could corrupt the Pokemon because it alters the PID, and POKéRUS is not normally obtainable in Pokémon FireRed and LeafGreen due to missing time-based event. The only way to get a Pokemon with POKéRUS in these games is by transferring it from Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire or Emerald, which isn't possibly here. So we'll leave those fields as they are. Press compute and generate the code to input in-game, but we're not done yet. Since this is a bootstrapped code, we also need to add an exit code. Open the link provided by the website and under the instructions column, you'll find the code to enter in box 13. That's not all though. The site also tells us to change the wallpapers of box 1 and box 2. This varies depending on the language, so make sure to follow the correct instructions. Now, go back into the game, and I recommend saving at this point because if something goes wrong, your Pokemon could turn into a bad egg. Enter all the codes provided by the site, and once you're done, perform a double swap with your ace. Go to box 10 slot 19, and as you can see, our Chansey, previously hatched from an egg, is now a legit Chansey caught in the Safari Zone. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.